Located just north of Vancouver, BC, and the world-renowned ski resort of Whistler Village, lies the proposed Stoltmann National Park. A spectacular landscape of alpine glaciers, forests, and river valleys, the Stoltmann's 500,000-hectare region encompasses areas which include some of BC's last surviving old-growth forests. Home to majestic stands of 1,300-year-old Douglas fir and ancient red cedars, its diverse ecological habitat sustains the most southerly populations of moose and grizzly bear on the Pacific coast of North America. The proposed Stoltmann National Park offers outdoor enthusiasts not only ease of access, but also the experience of a landscape which once stretched right across the Pacific Northwest. Yet in the early 90s, international forest products began clear-cutting these precious stands of old growth, threatening not only the Stoltmann's complex and fragile ecosystem, but also our opportunity to save this priceless national treasure for the generations of the next millennium.
Since 1995, we and many people have been working hard to get this area preserved as a national park. And we have support from members of Parliament, Whistler, the village of Whistler. Many of their councillors are supporting us. But so far, it hasn't stopped international forest products from continuing to cut down trees like these in horrible clear cuts. And so some of their clear cuts they allow to dry out and they burst into flames. It's been a real heartbreaking.
We have to rethink the way we manage and exploit our resources. Here it took nature hundreds, if not thousands of years to build up this phenomenal economic and ecological wealth, and we can harvest it in a matter of days and months so fast, and then to rebuild it, it will take another long period of time, and you wonder whether it isn't time now to re-examine how we give it away and how we manage it, how we harvest it, and whether there are not better alternatives. And obviously there are, and we have to see it in the context of what happens in other valleys of British Columbia, and whether the job situation in the long term will not be better served by encouraging ecotourism rather than logging.
This place should be preserved, and at some point enough people will get up and get out here and make that happen. And lately a group of young people have taken to peacefully standing in the way of the machines, and I really got to take my hats off to them, because you know, it's a desperate situation.
There is a malaise, there is conflict in the forest, and we have the responsibility, you know, the adults, the mature people, to find a solution to the conflict, rather than telling the youngsters that they can go and jump in the lake.
But in the meantime, we're losing forests, and I just hope that the day of preservation comes sooner rather than later, because it's a heartbreaker to watch these big trees coming down. For instance, it was our researchers that found that indeed these trees were 1,300 years old. We commissioned a study on grizzly bears, so we know now that we are standing on the front line of grizzly bears in North America. At one time, grizzly bears existed all the way south to Mexico on the coast of North America, and they've been eliminated. Everywhere south from here, they've been exterminated, and here we stand on the southern limit of their coastal habitat. These are the oldest known living Douglas fir trees in all of Canada, and they're only several hour drive from Vancouver.
It's technological change that is taking mostly the jobs away. That is a well-known fact. So that is a red herring. Of course that eventually retraining is needed, but you can also find ways which have been preached by Patricia Marchuk for decades now of adding value to the resource, so that the resource is also utilized here to create the jobs along its final product. So there are many other ways of going about it, rather than relegating ourselves to the role of a developing country.
Hi, my name is Gavin Edwards. I'm with the Forest Action Network. There's a couple of ships, as you can see in the background here, loading raw logs. This year there's been a threefold increase in the amount of raw logs going out of the province. If these logs stayed in the province, we could have a lot more jobs for BC workers by remanufacturing these logs into quality end products. So Forest Action Network and PATH have joined together, and we're stopping these logs from going out of the province. People are occupying the logs and telling the longshoremen, look, we don't want to see these logs going out, we want to see them remaining in BC.
All the citizens of Canada can make a reasoned decision, which we think will result in this being declared one of Canada's, if not Canada's finest, national park.